about attachment parenting. Do you think it's healthy? Do you think it's too much? Are you judging? Are you willing to be open-minded about it? Let's hear what some people have to say. Okay. What's your name?
Erin.
Hi, Erin.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
I had a question about it. So when the child has a problem at school or is going through a difficult time, it's probably that breastfeeding is your answer, or is it to talk about feelings, or how does that prepare the child for emotional speaking and expressing themselves?
You're saying if it's being used for comfort
Yeah,
rather
instead
than
of
verbal?
like coming to you and using their words and say, "Mom, I have a problem at school," or instead they're just going to say, "Well, I need to breastfeed," instead of using
so
the
it's just
communication.
that it's a crutch for comfort rather than communicating. Naomi?
I think there's a misunderstanding that people use breastfeeding like as a crutch, or even that attachment parenting as a whole can create dependent type children. I think that actually the statistics show that children who are raised in an attachment parenting style are actually more independent earlier and faster than children who are sort of pushed away when they're younger.
Okay. I think it's all very, very interesting. And you guys are all being calm compared to what's going to go on the internet tomorrow. So who's the most aggravated or the most passionate about it?
Right here.
Okay.
I've worked with kids for 15 years, and I'm sorry, I love you, Landis, but I'm judging. I think that once the baby is like, "Mommy, I need a snack," and they ask for the boob, I just feel like it's time to cut the cord. I can't imagine any of my 5-year-old kindergartners coming up to me and saying, "I sleep with mommy and daddy," or we're not Little House on the Prairie anymore, and it's just time, in my opinion, for them to grow some independence and just grow up and find themselves.
You want to answer that? Oh, you want to answer? Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
How many children do you have?
I have zero children, but I worked with kids for 15 years.
So you've never delivered a baby?
No.
You've never nursed a baby?
No, I have not.
But you have an opinion about whether or not
Very
it's good
much
for
so.
them. And do you have any research to back up on that?
I'm actually in school right now full-time, going to school for education, and I have a very strong feeling on it. And I understand that attachment can be an issue. I get that, but there are strategies to help it, and once the child is developing their own sense of self and can say, "Mommy, I need a snack and I want your boob," I feel like it's time for maybe some
Does
cheese.
anybody have anything to say on the other side? Okay. Hi, how are you?
Good. Nice to meet you, Cheryl.
Cheryl, nice to meet
I'm
you.
a huge fan, by the way.
Thank you.
So I just want to say that I'm completely in favor of it.
Okay.
I currently have a 3-year-old daughter who I breastfeed, and I'm going to do so until she weans herself. I feel like when she's ready, she will do so, and it comforts her, and it calms me down, and it's...
And is it more for health or is it more for
Not
emotional?
at this point. I would say it's more emotional.
So when do you think that it goes from strictly health to emotional? At what age?
I think health and emotional are happening concurrently at the same time.
The whole time, even if you're going up till 10 years old.
Well, you wouldn't be breastfeeding till 10 years old, and I keep coming back to that being a joke, but you wouldn't.
Oh no,
be
but there are
breastfeeding.
people. No, I wasn't. But you would, right?
But
I wouldn't breastfeed to 10. No, I think that.
No, because I think it has happened. I was saying that's real research. I'm just saying if you're saying as long as it will go, what if they would what? So when is the cutoff? That's a good. Okay, so when is the cutoff?
I think that's a really good question, and I think that the thing is that in the United States, there's this culture of like anti-breastfeeding going on here. It's a bottle feeding culture, right? And so we're looking at this
I haven't
situation.
experienced that. I got ripped for stopping what I did and for saying that I couldn't totally do it. And I've never, in all the times on Twitter or Facebook, gotten more conversation than this topic. I think it's the most fiery topic that there is out there for women.
It's changing. You're right. It's changing. But I think the thing is, in the world, the median age of breastfeeding goes up to 4, and it spans from 2 to 7. So I'd say that that's a normal look at like throughout the world when kids naturally wean.
Okay.
So like I would say that around 7, beyond that is probably not going to happen. You know.
Okay.
So
you're
that's
taking
the
a
real
world
top.
point of view where people are just out in the with no running water, and then also being in like a metropolis. So you're taking like an average of all that.
An average, yeah.
And speaking with people internationally too, they're shocked at how freaked out we are as Americans around this conversation.
And you have a new single on iTunes, and you called it The Guardian because it's about you being a mother? Or the
called
song isn't
Guardian.
about that, but it's representative of you being a mother.
Well, the timing is interesting. It happens to be about protection and guardianship about my son and my own inner child, frankly.
Well, congratulations, and thank you both so much for coming and for being honest. Thank you all. We have to take a break. We'll be right back.